Hello everyone, welcome. I'm PetayPanMoFo. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you the basics of the content creator, give you a few tips and tricks of how to make a good replayable race. A race that people would want to bookmark and replay. The three most important things to a race are the settings, the checkpoints, and the smoothness of any builds. So first of all, the first thing you want to do is do race details. So the absolute first thing you want to do is go into race details. Put a title in, doesn't matter what it is, and a description, then you'll be able to save the race. You always want to have as many players as you can, so make sure that starting grid's a small grid and as many players as possible. If you can't have 30 players, then try putting your starting grid somewhere else. There's no harm in changing the race a little bit. So also in your settings, you got your default classes, your time of day. Or I always like to have mine in noon and clear. No one likes playing in the rain or at night. So just have it set on there, especially YouTubers. And then you want to change the traffic off. If it's like a stunt race, you want to change it from standard to non-contact. And that's where you change the point-to-point and laps as well. You can have it rally, GTA, standard or non-contact. I always change mine to non-contact unless you're making a specific contact race. But if it's like a stunt and that, you don't want contact. And also in the settings, if you're making a race and it's just for the Sanchez, say, you go into available vehicles by pressing X or A. Then you can change what classes you want in here by marking them like that. So if it's like a wall ride, you're not going to want utilities and stuff marked. You're just going to want supers marked, and then not all the supers are going to make it, so you just press square or X on the Xbox, and then you can choose the individual cars. If you wanted it to be locked to one car, you just have that one car ticked, and then it will just be stock T20. But a lot of the time it's good to have at least two cars marked so people can take their custom. Another thing, in the description, if certain cars don't work, like an adder, write it in the description that it doesn't work and write the recommended vehicle. Also is good to put any tips and tricks for the more noobs and the people who don't know how to play it. And also you want to remember that you might know the way of the track, so when you're testing it you might not see something that is wrong with it. So always test it in custom vehicles with other players that have never seen the race before. That way someone might like miss a turn in, then you can go back and edit it so it's a bit more obvious where the turn in is, if you saw what I mean. Yeah, so the most important part is the checkpoint placement. So many times I've had a race that's been spoilt by crappy checkpoint placement. Like here's really wide out to go around the corner, or you've got loads of checkpoints and then a turn in right after the loads of checkpoints, so you've not got enough time to slow down. Ideally you want one single checkpoint on the corner, no checkpoint around the corner. Like this one here, you likely to come around the corner there and miss that checkpoint. But here you've got one checkpoint, so you can take a wider line, an inner line, and then the next one's on the next corner. I'll show you what I mean by shoddy checkpoint placement. It's good to put them so it's a nice race flow as well. I mean, there's no point going up here just to turn around and come back down. If you're doing stupid sort of turns around, then make the race a bit longer, make it flow a bit better. I mean, like, see there? That checkpoint suddenly turns around. I didn't see it coming, so I overshot it. These are just some examples of crappy checkpoint placement. Like that one. The checkpoint was right round the corner. You saw that I came round and completely went round it, so I have to double back on myself. That sort of thing gets your race a dislike and people won't play it again. And another example here, loads of checkpoints, suddenly there's a corner, shit, there we go, missed the corner. And here again we got one right round the corner, that one's a bit closer so it wasn't too bad. Now these are more like the checkpoints you want to see, so you can take your own lines, you can get nice and wide for the corner if you want to be wide over here, cut the corners, whatever. Right, so here's just a couple of examples of the sort of lines that people take going around the corner. Obviously, the more popular line is coming wide, cutting it, and then coming back out wide. But these are just sort of roughly to show you the sort of the rough lines that you'd go through the corner. So a lot of the times you see people putting the checkpoint right here on the corner. That's no good for people like taking the corner wide. And then you obviously, if you got one checkpoint here around there and then one here tight on the corner, then people are going to come round and go off wide and miss that checkpoint there. So it's best not to have one there, just whack one on the next corner. But with this one, you don't want it, like I say, you don't want it here, you don't really want it here on the left, you want it sort of in the middle before the corner, so everyone's can take whichever line they want to. And then, like I say, you don't have one straight round the corner. If you need to put one sort of halfway up the road, if you wanted to get that extra RP, then just have an extra one in the middle. There's no point for it. Like I say, people like to curb hop, take their own lines and stuff to get ready for the next corner, so they like to be in the right position to take the corner as fast as possible. If you wanted to like have a load of checkpoints like this, it's best to do it in a place where you're obviously not going to be turning, like down there for example, but then I wouldn't have it on this corner, have a turn in there. If the turning was sort of up here and further up here, say to turn out towards that way, that would be fine, just having a few extra checkpoints there, because you've got plenty of time to see which direction you're going to be turning and where you're going to be turning or whatever. So there's no point in having like a checkpoint there, a checkpoint there, and then a checkpoint round there, because you're not going to see that that's a turning checkpoint until it's too late and you're going too fast. So if you have it back here, you got more time to see that that's saying to turn left. And the thing is, if you got loads of checkpoints in front and you wanted to get that RP, you got loads of checkpoints and then lots of time to see to slow down and turn, and also see that there's a thing over here on the minimap. So yeah, checkpoints the most important part of the race, and after any stunts you want to float them up. It's really easy to do now. You just get a barge, float the barge up and whack the checkpoint in there. So it's easy enough to make it non-cheatable. That's the checkpoints. So yeah, another thing, build quality. So many times I see really cool ideas and they're just shoddily made. I mean, that there is nice and smooth ramp. As you can see, smooth, no overlaps or anything, but still, it's not straight, it's not pleasing to the eye. So to look at it, you think, well, if that's not straight, what's the rest of the race going to be like? It all reflects on your race, if you see what I mean. And with this one, I see this so many times. Great creations, great creators, even the top creators of PlayStation, Xbox, some still do it. They have great ideas, make these great stunts, but then just fail to reverse build a ramp. It's so easy to do. Like I will show you now quick. So you get your ramp, whack them down. I'm not going to bother with being straight, it's going to hurt my eyes. But so then you reverse build it, delete that one, whack one there. This is just a really quick way of showing you. And then whack them there. Then now that's all nice and smooth. You do the bottom three, and if it's in the wrong place, templates now, just make a prop template, and the prop templates will always rotate from the first one that you select. So now it's purple, select it, it's white and it's got a purple dot on it. Select the other ones and then save the template. So that ramp was in the wrong place, I want to move it. Delete those, go into templates, there you go, there's the ramp. I will put it here instead. Voila. It's weird though with some things. If something's rotated, like the barges, for example, a lot of people will be using those now. A good idea to make things smooth is just to build them onto the flat surface. Airport's a good place to do it. Just sort of build it and then make a prop template. Create a new template, select the props, save the template, delete those. So you go to that template and then you rotate it round and place it. But now if you make a template of that, the rotation's going to be off, like the pitch and things like that. I'll show you quick props. So you always want to start with the one closest to where you're going to be joining them together so you can see it, because if you start here and you want to be joining this one, you're not going to be able to really see where it's joining. So always start with the one that is going to be closest to where you're going to join them together. This prop template is so cool. It makes building so much faster, because you could build like this, build 3, copy them, then add them on, and just keep adding them on, keep making new templates. So you save that template, and then as you can see, it's got the right angle on it. So templates are a good way of keeping the angle of your props. As you can see, the world handling is still the same, but the pitch is now wonky. You see that? So what you want to do is get another prop, I'd say like a cabin or something, just float it a little bit over and place it there. And then you want to make a template using that as the first prop in your template. So select that one, then that one, then these two, save the template. As you can see, it wasn't actually a flat surface I made this on, that's why the airport's good. So I've now got that as a saved template, haven't I? Yeah. Go into your templates, and the pitch will now be correct and straight. So that's pitch, and then the roll's the other way. But it's not diagonally and wonky, so that's a good way of keeping your pitch and your rotations the same direction. Another good way of keeping your props the same, obviously you can make templates of them, like I said, but if, like, say you were building a ramp, I'll just use normal ramps as an example. So you're building a ramp like this, stop trying to get it so straight, and you want to keep that rotation because you save in, you leave in or something. All you need to do is whack a checkpoint down. So then now if I change, like say I wanted to now make a ramp go that way, and trying to get them to connect or something stupid like that, I don't know. Yeah, but you make the ramp going that way, and you're like, oh, I want to add one onto there, rather than rotating and trying to find the line. All you got to do is go to checkpoints, pick up that checkpoint, put it down, go back into props, and the prop is in the same direction. So a lot of the good creators, they do like 4 points rotation, so they put prop down with the checkpoint that way, prop down with the checkpoint that way, prop down with the checkpoint that way, and so on and so forth. Just whack checkpoints down with those, so then your props are the same direction. That's a nice little tip for keeping things in the right direction, like I say. And for angles and stuff, like I said, use templates. Now if you're going to build a roller coaster or something, please make sure it works, because at the end of the day, if I play a roller coaster, someone's roller coaster, and it just fails to work, then I'm just not going to play any more of their races. It's going to get a dislike, you're not going to get any more plays out of me, I won't play any of your other races. They could be 10 times better, but I've played this crappy one that you've published. That's how I'm going to see all of your races. yeah, people improve in that, but it just gives a bad impression. Another good way to line things up, obviously for flat stuff, being at the airport, that's a good, nice flat areas. The airport's there, and over here. Use them to like build platforms and things, and then rotate them or whatever. Like I did with this. So just put the barges out flat, and then rotated them and made the ramp like so. That's a bit steep. I'll do a ramp tutorial and wall ride tutorials and other things like that. But if you say wanted it like a vertical container or something, like to make the sideways container bits, or even like one of the barges, even one of those you could do. But in order to do that, just find a building somewhere with a flat surface, a flat side. I usually use the FIB building, but I mean with this most will work because you can just like stick it on the side of the building and then line it up with something that's straight up, and that will help you get the right angle. And then like I say, if you put 2 there, you can then make a template and there be in that direction. Quickly show you. I'll just save it. And then you go into your templates and then it'll be sideways. So it's kept that rotation for you, as you can see. So now I've got a nice sideways rotation. But as you can see, because it's not a flat, it's sideways, the pitch is different. So if I wanted the pitch and angles to stay the same, all like I said you have to do is just whack a prop the right way round next to it and select that prop first for your template. Anyway, that's some of my tips and tricks of how to make a decent race which is replayable and that people like. I mean, like I say, it's all well and good making, you could have the best, most awesome epic stunt and the race would just be spoiled because the checkpoint after the stunt's in the wrong place, or the respawn of the checkpoint's crap, or like you got loads of crappy checkpoints and you're overshooting corners and stuff like that. So many times I've lost places and stuff like that because of crappy checkpoints. It just ruins the race. So checkpoint placement is the most important part, and then smoothness of any builds. So if you're new here, subscribe, take a look around. I upload daily races, leave bookmark links, and I will be making some more tutorials on the new content creator, giving you tips and tricks how to make ramps, wall rides and other things like that. Don't forget to leave a like. Thanks for watching.
PetayPan, that's what they call me. I promise that you never be lonely. PetayPan, that's what they call me. I promise that you never be lonely. PetayPan, that's what they call me. I promise that you never be